the value scale gives our drawing or painting life, right? It helps to make it seem more three-dimensional. Now, another thing that the value scale does is that it helps with the mood, right? Because remember, if as an artist, if you would create a drawing or painting, right? We normally create art pieces sending a message. Now, either if it's drawing or painting, the mood of your work sends a great message, or the atmosphere of your work sends a message. So, for instance, if you have a lighter value, it might give an eerie, peaceful effect, right? Or send that message. Rather than if you have a darker value in your work of art, right? It might send a more sad, gloomy message, right? So then, based off of what I've said so far and the definition given for a value, what is your understanding of value and how it influences your art?
Okay, miss. So what I understand you said is that value influence art by adding depth and life to the art.
Thank you. Yes, John, can you please tell me what do you understand from what I just read? Or explain to you?
Miss, me understand that values start from darkest to lightest. Darkest meaning the deepest part and lightest light part.
Thank you, John. Now students, as drawing students, you have to know that when we're drawing compared to when we're normally writing with a pencil, it's different in art, right? Here I have a pack of drawing pencils. We would use this. So the values we have here, right, from lightest to darkest, you can also achieve those same values with the pencils that are given in this pack. Now we'll have pencils from the lightest to darkest, right in here. So, so with that being said, now I'm going to demonstrate to you what or how to achieve the values, so how to transform the values onto an object. Alright? So here, this is called a
Circle.
Right? Now let me show you how we can transform this circle into a sphere. Now with value, we have to understand that light source is important. That's how we can tell, or that's how we get variation from value. Alright? Now let's pretend that our light source is coming from this direction, right? Our light source comes from this direction. What do you think is going to happen to this side of the circle?
Miss, they gonna got the shadow.
The shadow, but something more important. If light is coming from this direction, this part is going to be what?
Lighter.
Lighter. Correct, right? So as the object, so this is supposed to be a sphere, right? Now, as the light travels around the sphere, what's going to happen there? This side is going to get
darker,
right? Because it's away from the light. So let me show you how that looks. So now there are different types of shading techniques. I'm going to make mine very simple today for you. Remember our light source. So as the light travels farther and farther, and there's light, right? Closer the object is to the light, that part is going to be like this. Right? your brush and your pencil, and you're good to go. Alright, now, so remember our light source, very important. Here we have our shadow. Right? Now, can you see how it's still being reflected on the object? Can you see? Likewise, the values on the values on the scale are being reflected on the object.
Yes, miss.
Do you see the darkest value being demonstrated there?
Yes, miss.
Do you see the lightest value being demonstrated there?
Yes, miss.
And you see the varying ones in between.
Yes.
Alright? And now each of these values have a name. Alright? We'll get into more of that later on. Alright? Now, I have a few questions for you guys. Right? Now, how would you describe the lightest and darkest area in a drawing? The lightest and the darkest. How would you describe that?
The lightest and darkest area, as you said, it depends on the light and where it's coming from. So the lightest area would be where the light is directly contacting, whereas the darkest area would be like the shadow effect it creates.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, class, I have one more question for you guys. How important is the tone of the artwork?
Yes, that is a hard question.
The tone meaning the values in between the lightest and the darkest. Why is that important?
Miss to give it like a realistic.
On point, to give it a realistic appearance. Right? So, besides our lightest area, right, we have varying tones in between. It gives gradation. Alright? And then it gets to the darkness. Alright? Now, so you already see the value scale we demonstrated here, right? Showing you the lightest value to the darkest value. Now, I would like to see you guys draw back the value scale and see how you can achieve the same value as I did. Alright? Okay, so here we have the student working on the value scale, looking good so far. The only thing you have to have a little more control on your values, right? The different values from dark to light. Some of your values look the same, but so you just have to focus on the values between here and the darkest. All right, these few looks a bit similar. Okay, but good job so far. Keep it up. I see your values are nicely laid out. I can see from the darkest to your lightest. Okay, looking good. Keep up the good work. Okay, we have this next student. How are you enjoying the value scale so far?
Yes, it's very enjoyable. I actually learned a lot.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so you just needed to do a little more work on the last value scale, the number 9. It has to be a bit darker, all right, to be distinct. All right, but great job. Keep up the good work. Okay, class. So let's recap on what we've learned today. So, what are some important takeaways that when we look back at, when we think back as to what we've learned today, what are the key points? So, what we can learn, or what we can take away today, is that the value scale helps to bring out form, helps to make your work realistic, right? It adds depth to your work. It adds form to your work. All right. Likewise, we had the circle and the sphere side by side. We were able to see Let's go back to the definition again. A value scale is a visual representation of the range of values